Hello and good morning, beautiful people. Today is July 1st, so we are going to be discussing the events of July, but more importantly, Cancer season. And I know that I'm a week late. Cancer season runs from June 21st to July 22nd, so I know we're already in Cancer season, but I decided to bring it up today because she has a lot to teach us about our emotions and how we deal with them. So, with that being said, let's get right into it and just see how Cancer season is going to go for us. With Cancer season, we can find ourselves dealing with a lot of life challenges in more emotional ways than we are used to. So we might surprise ourselves or be confused. And some of us tend to, when we have emotions come up in ways that we're not ready for or not used to, some of us tend to block out emotions with overcompensation of ego. So we should be on the watch for that as well. But for the month of July, we have Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles. So once again, Five of Swords. With this Cancer season, stop, relax, you're okay. Sorry, Ellie's here with us today. You're all right. Leave him alone. Come on, lay down. So with the Five of Swords and Cancer season, basically we're understanding what to put down and what to hold. So the woman in the card, it's holding three swords, but two of her swords have been put down. This is kind of the point, going towards the point of knowing what emotions are ours and what emotions are still ours, but emotions that we can let go of, emotions that we don't really recognize or align with anymore. And this can be true in a lot of situations. This can be happy, sad, in between, but there's a lot to say about the emotions that we hold and why we hold them, okay, the space that we hold for them. So throughout this month and in Cancer season, you might find yourself reevaluating certain emotional reactions you have to certain things. So keeping this in mind through your experiences this month, you might be triggered in specific ways specifically for this reason, because your highest self wants you to put a few of your swords down. When we put a few of our swords down, we make room for new emotions. We make room for new emotional processes that are actually serving to us, towards our highest good. Because at least in my own life, I've been realizing that there's a lot of emotions that happen in my life that don't really carry me anyway, in any direction. So, something will happen and I'll feel a certain type of way, and at the end of feeling that way, nothing has really been resolved. In fact, sometimes my emotions are even heightened by it, and this includes frustration, fear, shame, guilt, but also jealousy, comparison, like all of the thieves of our joy, okay? Those emotions that are just so big, they really take a lot from us, and sometimes when it goes unchecked, it just creates emotional habits that, once again, are not productive. But the good news is we have a Two of Pentacles here, so we see a woman who sort of, the words for the Two of Pentacles that always comes up for me is ebbs and flows. So she is mastering the balance between ebbs and flows. She has her alchemy down. She has one that is higher and one that is lower, and she is able to consciously go into the higher or the lower, or it's just that balancing act of knowing when to enact certain emotions, knowing when to enact certain mental processes for our highest good. It's just this is showing us conscious effort once again of feeling this balance, feeling like we're not being overwhelmed. The Cancer suns, they kind of get a rep for being crybabies, and I'm not going to say that whether that's true or not. I don't really have a lot of Cancer in my chart or anyone really too close to me. One of my best friends is a Cancer, but again, there's a lot of things that make us up astrologically wise. There's a lot of houses, a lot of planets, a lot of degrees, okay? So just because there is Cancer in your birth chart, I think that it might just point out that you typically deal with things in a more emotional sense, or you just have a highlight on your relationship with your emotions, okay? And that's a good thing, because I think that emotions kind of unlock a lot of things in life, and I would prefer dealing with things in emotional ways rather than cut off or non-emotional ways, okay? And I've talked about before how I usually cry when I'm frustrated or angry or whatever. Like, crying is my body's natural response, and it really frustrates me further, but I am an emotional person. I take things very emotionally, and I think that that helps me connect closer to a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of parts of nature. So there's a lot of value in emotions, and I think that our society kind of cuts emotion off the knees and tells us to be strong and wipe our tears, but we can learn a lot from our tears. So the Two of Pentacles, there's a lot of water in this image as well. So I think that there might be tears this month, and they might be happy tears or sad tears, but they are conscious tears. You are using your tears to process certain things, and that's a super important thing for you to be conscious of, to be a conscious part in, to allow your tears to flow. Like I said before, some of us, when we feel emotions coming on, we overcompensate in order to avoid our emotions with ego or dryness or whatever it is for you. But I think that this month we're going to be learning how important it is to lean into that emotional side sometimes, and how beneficial it can be for us, for our relationships, for our spiritual relationships. And eventually the King of Pentacles, he's just sitting here, he's chilling, he's like, yeah, I got it all. So this month is kind of like emotional foundations. We are building up our emotional foundations in order to feel like we have the resources to be a king, to be like the biggest, baddest, best version of ourselves. And that includes being emotionally aware and emotionally intact, and there's one more word I'm looking for. Emotionally intelligent. Thank you, brain. Sorry, I just had to take a drink. So yeah, emotions are really important for us in this Cancer season, as I expected, because once again, Cancer season just kind of highlights our emotions for us, and so we can either allow them to be highlighted and take notes, or we can avoid them and have a really frustrating Cancer season, you know what I mean? So we're gonna keep going with a few more messages on this Cancer season. What's going to be highlighted for us this Cancer season? What can we learn? Alrighty, so we have Church, Temple, Mosque, recognize your spiritual authority, and Animal, embrace your wild side. So Church, Temple, Mosque has come up before, and I think that it's always a good highlight to lean into the spiritual side of whatever you're going through. In my opinion, there are always spiritual answers to our non-spiritual, or what we consider to be non-spiritual issues. So it's always worth considering, and yeah, I think that's as far as I'm going to go with that one. It's just a reminder, a good reminder to check in with your spiritual authority and remember your connection. It's important. But with Animal, embracing your wild side, again, like, emotions for us as human beings with brains, okay? Emotions are a very natural and sometimes animalistic response to certain stimuli, and again, when we cut that off, we're cutting off our animal, like our animal connection, our connection to our nature. So once again, and the woman in the picture kind of looks a little blue or melancholy, and there's a little bird offering her a heart. So I think that we can learn a lot from animals. I think it's cool to learn about like elephants or certain animals that you can really see emotional processes, or the way animals take care of their young, the way animals take care of themselves. They take care of themselves in ways that we really have to work towards comprehending, because for us, again, in human world, we have an ego, so that kind of dilutes our emotional state. But animals don't really have egos. They don't really have that side to them, so they are purely like instinctual, emotional. So whatever comes up for them, I think that they're more allowed to follow. They're allowed to grieve their young. They're allowed to, you know, do these things. And it's, I mean, you don't really see it. You don't see like a lion sitting down and crying because it broke a nail, and that's kind of where like the disconnect comes from, because lions don't pay attention to their nails. That's what humans do. But either way, honoring your own nature. If your nature is to cry, if your nature is to be disappointed or be upset about something, then be upset. Honor your emotions. That's what's really coming through, is honoring the natural things that rise in you this month. Because a lot can be learned from it. A lot can be understood between what swords you're still holding at the end of the month, and what swords you've allowed yourself to put down. Are you really an angry person, or have you just been conditioned to avoiding certain emotions and replacing it with anger? Okay. That's really important for a lot of people, because anger is one thing that I think most people deal with, at least in small ways and sometimes in very big ways. But anger, at least in my opinion, anger is never really productive. Anger, for me, never feels like it's coming from the Most High. It feels like it's coming from a very small place in a very cold form. And I just never feel like I'm connected to my anger. I feel like it's coming out of ego every single time. Yeah, and so I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know what I was going to finish that with. But either way, embracing your wild side, embracing the side of you that you maybe have avoided, especially when it comes to emotions. Or emotions can also be our desires. Whatever you feel emotionally when you wake up from a dream, or whenever you're fantasizing about how you want your life to be, that those emotions deserve to be honored as well, and those emotions deserve to be conscious as well. So once again, we're taking in this Two of Pentacles energy of making sure that we are consciously aware of who we are emotionally, in our emotional states, and maybe how we can influence it. Because again, when it comes to manifesting or bringing new things into our lives, our emotions are sort of like fuel to the fire. And with it being the summer, you know, like manifesting energy is very high, okay? We are not hibernating anymore. This is the time to be alive, be out there, be creating. And if we're emotionally balanced, you know, nothing can really stand in our way. That's what I was talking about with the King of Pentacles foundation, is that when we are emotionally sound, when we are no longer surprised by any of our emotions, when we don't have anything seeping out of the cracks because we've been avoiding it or ignoring it, then we are so emotionally sound that whatever comes our way, we can be consciously walking into the challenges, and we are ready for these things. We are ready to manifest. We're ready to consciously bring things into our lives and honor our emotions, honor our desires, honor our wild side and our spiritual authority, and the whole entire aspect of our lives. It kind of just shifts when we have this emotional understanding with ourselves. Whew, that's a lot of words. I hope I'm not going. I feel like I woke up with so much energy today, And yeah, I'm just really excited for this Cancer energy. We're going to keep going with some shadow aspects of this month, what we might be facing, what we might need to investigate or just pay attention to a little bit more closely this month. We're in this Cancer season. And I'm going to be doing my best this month to keep up with some of the astrological events that are happening. So stick with me. I also have a lot of things going on towards the end of the month, so I might be absent a little bit, but we'll see. So we have resilience, burn away the past, number 27. So a shadow aspect of us dealing with our emotions and welcoming our emotions is that this is kind of like new territory for us. And it seems like in the past you've always dealt with things in a specific emotional way, okay? In a specific way, like I said, with anger or with frustration or with people-pleasing tendencies, however you've dealt with your emotions previously. But it feels like, again, these sort of oh, sorry, I just bumped the entire table. These sort of habits have come to us from different situations in the past, and reasonably so. Like, I'm never one to discount anyone's ability to cope with anything, because it happens for a reason, whether it's self-preservation, whatever. It's never worth judging. But now that we are being conscious in our process, now that we are working towards this emotional grounding and this solitude in the King of Pentacles, I think that it's time for us to recognize what emotions that we experience because of our past, okay? So there might, like I was saying earlier, there might be certain things that are coming to us this month to trigger us and inspire us to react in new ways, inspire us to feel in new ways. And this might be a cutting of emotional ties, okay? Like I said before, when we're putting our swords down, when we're leaving a few swords behind in order to move forward, there might be a few emotions, or at least emotions tied to specific people, places, things that we can no longer carry. In order for our spiritual progression, there are a few things that we can no longer carry. So in your mind, you can think of it like this. If you're going to cut an emotional tie with a person, specifically in this situation, you can tell yourself consciously and your emotional self consciously, I no longer have space to carry you. I no longer have space to carry this anger I have for you. So I'm letting my anger go. And with my anger for you, especially if it's the only thing you feel for someone, with my anger for you, I am also letting you go. Okay, so this month is huge. We're burning away the past. We're burning away things that have been holding us back emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. This is super exciting. This is super exciting because it's all coming full circle for you guys when you are consciously active in what's going on in your life, okay? You have the power, you have the spiritual authority in order to push yourself past these limits, okay? And that's my most favorite thing to say on this podcast, on this channel. I don't even think I introduced myself today. Hi, I'm the Existential Healer. So sorry. Like I said, I woke up with so much energy today, and I think it might be because I've been sick for so long. I just want to probably hear myself talk. But either way, we are burning away the past. You are being consciously pushed forward. Your highest self wants room in your mental space on the daily, okay? We don't want these interactions that are thoughtless anymore, okay? Our spiritual team is like, get rid of those. You can live such an intentional life, okay? You have the capabilities to live such an intentional life that it's no longer worth your time to engage with anger or jealousy or fear or shame or guilt. Let it all go. It does not serve you. I promise you that. And The victim mindset is one sword that we will be leaving behind, okay? That's coming through for a lot of people right now. The victim mindset. So I pulled one more card because I just wanted one more shadow aspect for what's going to be, you know, sort of a challenge this month for us, and it's flashover. It's all in your head. That's what the card says. And I hate that phrase, that it's all in your head, because that is very much a gaslighting phrase. But when you switch your perspective on this whole phrase, on this whole situation, it's all in your head means that it's all in your head. The power to change your life is in your head. The power to find emotional grounding is within your head. Like, there are no physical things that I can hand you today and say, go out and buy this and you will be cured of your emotional imbalances. It is all in your head. All of these processes will be in your head. So one of our aspects, our shadow aspects of this month, of this challenge in Cancer season, is going to be getting into our head and unlocking these powers. And if your first plan was to go out and get all these things for yourself, okay, maybe you still need them, but a lot of what our work, our challenges, those, you know, when these triggers come up and we have to react in new ways, that's going to be a process that's happening in our heads, okay? These are internal processes. So, evaluate what your relationship with the words "it's all in your head" is, and see if you can use it in a beneficial way. The way I just kind of rephrased it, or not even rephrase it, it's still the same words. It's just a new perspective that you know, is this happening in my head? Is my fear, is my anger, is my jealousy, is this happening in my head? Are there actual reasons that I align with for this emotion? No? Okay, I choose to put this sword down and walk forward without it, okay? I no longer need to carry this. I no longer need to carry this emotional burden. That's so... I'm just so happy for you guys. Like, emotional freedom comes with so many blessings and benefits, and you, like, the King of Pentacles, not only is he sitting there like, yeah, I got all my shit, but I mean, truly, he has everything that he could ever possibly want or need, and if he doesn't, he knows how to get it. Like, it's all within us. It's all within your head. And that's not a demeaning thing to say. It's literally, you have the power to go within. Meditate. You have the power to go within, and in your dreams, lucid dreaming, okay? There's a lot of things that you can do internally, and things that are, you know, it's just changing our internal processes or adding adjustments to them so that they align more with where we're trying to go, our higher selves and our dreams. And yeah, I'm gonna take a drink. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna keep going with Whispers of Healing, and just get another message on this month and see what aspect we can bring into our lives to help us through with this emotional changes in this season. Okay, so we've got, ooh, this is exciting. Okay. Okay, so we've got Unexpected, number 48, and then we have 33, Hydrate. Ooh, okay, I'm reading both of these out of the, well, no, I'll just read Hydrate, because Unexpected on the card anyways, on half of the card is sort of like a dusty, dark brown setting of like a house with a staircase, and then a little girl's walking around the corner and she sees fairies in this grand, like almost Disney-esque castle, and it's beautiful and bright. So walking around the corner, like I was saying about moving forward, we're taking the swords that do serve us and we're moving forward, okay? So we're talking about strong emotions here, as far as swords that we're keeping with us. So anger is not serving us in any way, but Self-respect, which can be a strong emotion and can come off as strong sometimes, is important for us to hold on to, okay? So we'll say pettiness does not serve us. Being petty, being jealous does not serve us. But in the same sense, making sure that others respect us, or at least respect our boundaries, and respecting our own environment, creating an environment where we can be successful and be grounded. That's sort of the difference between what we're leaving behind and what we're carrying forward. Again, I'm never one to say that it's all love and light. There is darkness in moving forward as well. There's darkness in emotional grounding as well. It's just not ego-led darkness, okay? That's the difference. It's divine darkness, that divine feminine, knowing the difference. So the unexpected, when we turn the corner, when we go around and we allow ourselves to walk through, the dark or the dusty, or just what appears to be just mundane, we end up finding this unexpected, like, treasure, dreams come true sort of situation, okay? Like again with the King of Swords, when you sit down, when you practice this balance, when you trust yourself to walk forward, and you it's sort of like letting go of the visuals, because I'm imagining us sitting in this dusty house, okay? And we're like, yeah, it's a dusty house, what of it? But if we sit in a dusty house, and it allows us the space and time to meditate and go within our head, because everything is in our head, right? We end up discovering this castle that has been built, exactly for us, and we end up discovering exactly what we are trying to manifest, and that is so powerful, that you, like, right now you're being told that it's on your way, and it's on the way to you, and it's coming in unexpected ways, okay? So unexpected ways, again, with manifesting, for me anyways, and a lot of the discourse I hear, manifesting has a lot to do with our physical lives. Maybe this month, try and manifest some non-physical aspects into your life and see what those changes mean. If you're trying to manifest more peace, more whatever it is, if you're trying to manifest an emotional aspect into your life, more than likely you'll be able to make decisions based on that aspect you're trying to bring into your life. And I think that manifesting emotional goals into your life ties into your physical goals, because again, in order for the physical to change around us, we have to have this emotional grounding. We have to have this foundation to where we can handle it. If we are trying to manifest this great grand castle of our lives, but we are still finding ourselves experiencing jealousy, fear, shame, guilt, all of the above, then our physical manifestations have a harder time finding us, because emotionally our vibration is still very low. So again, raising our emotional vibration is very important for our manifestations to come true for us. But I am going to read Hydrate out of the book. It's such a beautiful image here. It looks like there's a woman in the woods, but there's sort of like a water portal, and you can see two mermaids and fish, and it just looks like somewhere where I would like to visit. But number 33, hydrate. Water is essential for your health. As you probably know or have read, over 70% of your body consists of water. It really is problematic for your body and overall well-being if you aren't drinking enough water. Drinking water can help control your appetite, improve your sleep, increase your energy levels, and flush toxins from your body. One way to successfully increase your daily water consumption is to make drinking water easier. Have a refillable water bottle you can easily grab and carry with you. Set a regular alarm or use post-it notes to remind you to drink water. If you don't like the taste of plain water, add lemon or lime to your water bottle. As a bonus, it is believed citrus helps flush toxins from your cells. A maiden looks at a portal to the ocean almost as if she's testing the water. The ocean covers 70% of our planet. How synchronistic that your body is also 70% water. The fish and the mermaids rely on water to keep them alive. The same is true for you. Your body relies on you to replenish it with water. The trees, flowers, animals, and all of nature are dependent on water for survival. The tree in this image represents a guardian. It indicates that recovery from illness or another challenge is at hand. Okay, so I didn't think that that was going to be so straightforward, but that's really great because we're taking care of ourselves again. So like I was just saying, our emotional state, replenishing our emotional state and requenching, I don't think that's a word. Anyways, replenishing ourselves in physical ways, in emotional ways, and in spiritual ways. Once again, they all tie together. You have to have this balance coming through of knowing what needs replenishing. So maybe in one of your meditations throughout the Cancer season or throughout this month can include assessing the three bodies, assessing the physical body, assessing the emotional body, and the spiritual body or the energy body for any areas that feel like they are like they're thirsty, okay, like they're thirsting for attention, for something to be replenished. Yeah, and spend some extra time with water because we are in Cancer season. I believe they're a water sign. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not super good at this astrology thing, but water is super important for us right now. Water can be super grounding, whether it's a shower and a bath or going and visiting water, the beach, a lake, the ocean, a river. It can be, you know, drinking a glass of water, however it is you want to introduce into your daily or weekly or just process. You can actually even meditate and go within and go to a beach. There's a really cool meditation. I don't really have any links to it, but in creating your own meditation or maybe just meditating and going somewhere, there's a really cool idea of going to healing waters within your own mind and allowing yourself to enter the healing waters and creating this sacred space with water that you can enter and your cells can sort of neutralize within the water and return to their natural state. And I want to call back this Embrace Your Wild Side card that we got in the beginning. Once again, just aligning with nature, physically, spiritually, emotionally, aligning with nature can help bring so much insight into your life and what you should do, you know, direction in your life, direction. So with that being said, I think that this is really, I'm gonna do one more message for everybody. Sorry. But overall, we're just being told that emotionally we are in charge. Emotionally we are in charge. If you ever feel like you are not in charge, if you're out of control, if someone else is in charge of your emotions, it just means that you need to strengthen the connection and sit down with yourself, honor yourself. That's all it takes. It's not a grand process. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to recognize the power you have within yourself and within the relationship you have to yourself. Okay, so the last little message we have says, forget what has already been and wake up tomorrow to a paradise of your own creation. Yep, period. Forget what's already been, wake up tomorrow to a paradise of your own creation. Again, with emotional understanding of the self is you allow yourself to see things in new lights. You no longer have to adopt the perspectives and views that have been pushed on you for so long. You can see things however you wish to see them. It's not, you know, you're not being forced to hold anything that you don't wish to hold. Sorry, I got distracted. yeah, you guys, you're so powerful. There's so many things that you can do for yourself on this day, and I just am excited for you because there's a lot coming your way in this Cancer season. Just remember that we're being intentional with our emotions. We're being intentional with our words so that we can find this place of emotional grounding and walk around the corner and find the unexpected and manifest whatever it is that's on our way when we align ourselves correctly in all three states, all three bodies of physical, emotional, and spiritual or energetic. So, yeah, with that being said, I love you all. Thank you so much for listening today. Once again, I am the Existential Healer. I will have my website in the link below, and the last few episodes I've been able to get up on YouTube. So if you'd like to check out the episodes visually, they're there. But yeah, enjoy your day.